Welcome back. You can start? You ready to rock?
We're ready.
I'm ready.
This is going to be fun, right? They think they're going to get up on me today.
Ain't
gonna happen.
That.
Where's, see, now I have to go even more over the top because my boy ain't here.
Oh, right?
Surrounded. This is like just at work. Surrounded by.
All kinds of estrogen in here. Sorry.
That's what I do my best.
Oh, good Lord. Bat your eyes.
Right, he has more lashes than either of us.
I know, right? I pay for these.
All natural.
I got
All
you,
natural. Are we started?
Yeah.
Are we ready to rock? Are we going?
We're going.
We going?
We're gone.
We got a welcome, right? Mm-hmm. And welcome back, everybody. This is Dr. Jim and Jody show, and we have
Shantella. Yay.
Hello, everyone.
Yay.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
So we got to do a proper introduction
Yeah.
for everybody out there.
Proper. Hello, everyone, in Dr. Jim and Jody land. I'm Shantella Richardson. I'm CEO of Results to Success. I'm an international speaker, best-selling author, and I am the ambassador for Global Women Club Chicago.
Yay! Look at
So what are you up to?
owning it. Yeah,
Oh, my.
you're not doing anything, Mike, are you?
Lions and tigers and bears, oh my. So, a lot of things. Well, what's coming up? Lately, I have been really working on my business instead of in my business. So the big thing for me in wrapping up the rest of 2016, 17, it's like years are going back so quickly, I'm like, and the end of 2017 is really ending with a bang. And when I say that, it's not just about me. I have a 3-day workshop that's coming up. By the time this airs, it may have already taken place, but it will start this Sunday, June 25th, and it's a 3-day workshop.
Sold out.
That's sold out.
Sold out. Mm-hmm.
Sold out.
We're going to talk about how to get those things sold out too. Yeah. So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's sold out, but it's a 3-day workshop which focuses on results to success. And success means different things for different people. So that's huge for me. Also, July 8th, a huge event called Global Women Club Chicago. We're launching Global Women Club Chicago here, of course. And that particular mission came from a woman named Morella Sula.
Mm-hmm. Sweet girl.
Yeah, very sweet. Born in Albania.
Yes.
Albania, now lives in London, and she created this movement for women to bring them together in one place, all professional women.
Yes. But what I love too is that she's big, you guys, on allowing a man to support you.
Yeah.
Which yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So
awesome.
this is not
Which is really important.
How we get out of our own way.
and Jim's way. So, and I think that's important. I think it's really important.
There's a whole lot of backstory to that, y'all. You'll get it.
It's huge because there are many women who may not feel that way, that the man is as important. So Morella still has a man in her life, and I think that's important.
And he stands behind her wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
And Gary?
Trevor. Yeah,
Sorry.
Trevor.
Yeah. Like those are her guys, but it's really an amazing. This is the first one in the United States?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is the first club being launched in the United States. We have London, we have Dubai, Kosovo, we have Paris launching, and I'm sure I'm missing one or two more. But also what's great about Global Women Club is that PBS has decided to create a special from it. So in October, several ladies will be going to LA for another huge launch.
Mm-hmm.
And
So we spoke at Women's Global Summit. I don't know if you remember Jim coming out and being like, "What do you mean no boys can come?" I know.
There were boys there.
There
though.
were boys, yeah. But they didn't get to talk.
So we do have to
Not
talk
a
to
lot.
somebody.
Yeah, not a lot. But it was funny because she looked and she was like, "I want to bring something to the United States," and the entire room looked at Chantella and were like, "Oh, Chantella will do it." Like this
And I'm
girl,
like, stop looking at me.
she did, and we walked out a little bit later, and she was like, "Why'd everybody look at me?" I was like, "Because you're the one who can pull it off, and you can sell it out, you know." So that's absolutely amazing. I want you to give them a tip on how to, because a lot of people are afraid. They think they're selling themselves. You're not selling. You're presenting an opportunity for people.
Absolutely.
And like she the other day, can I?
Yeah,
I can,
sure.
yeah.
It's your story.
No, it's your story. I was talking to her about an event that I have that I need to sell out, and she gave me. We talked on the phone 2 hours.
Yeah.
At least. Which is kind of a normal occurrence, but she gave me a couple tips. Do you know that I made more money in 1 hour than I had in the entire month because of her? Like she just said, you need to do this, this, and this. And she's like, it's your gift anyway, just use it. And I was like, I had goosebumps saying it because I was like, and she's like, you do it anyway, just do it. And because I didn't want to feel like I was selling anything to anybody. And
Yes.
yeah, and now after that, I shared that story. I just got a gig, a consulting gig, to do a three-hour workshop on selling. Yeah, upselling.
Upselling.
Yeah.
Are you going to share?
I would.
Dr.
Are you
Jim,
kidding me?
Dr. Jim, like, my pocket's still a little light.
So much value we're giving to the audience. This, and this.
So that's how you're going to come to the event. Yeah, you're just going to come to the event.
July 8th.
You got to give them something. You got to give them something.
Have a conversation. That's really what it is.
Okay.
We spend so much time emailing, and that 2 hours
Texting.
that we sent, like, we literally just talked it through, you know, and I threw ideas at her, and she threw ideas at me, and we collaborated. That Chantella is now Jim is in here with us now, and Chantella is now going to run her business out of here also. Yeah. So it's just all about us all coming together and just collaborating and making those things happen. So
What do people or what would women get out of that weekend? Like what, if there are like 3 top takeaways, what are they going to walk away with?
Well, as far as Chantel is concerned, you will walk away with some of the tips that I shared with Jody as to seed sale.
mm-hmm.
You're planting seeds, right? And then you watch them grow. People don't want to feel sold,
Right.
but they want to buy.
They do.
Everyone wants to buy, but
Yes.
no one wants to be sold.
And everybody wants to be a part of something.
Yes.
You know?
And that's number 2. So number 2, you'll be a part of a phenomenal group of Chicagoland women who are all professional, experts in what it is that they do. But more importantly, beyond that, you have access to women all around the world. The database of women that Morella has access to is mind-boggling to me. And because she has laid the groundwork in different places around the world, it's a gift to us here in the United States. So for me being an international speaker, she has given me extended reach than I already had to places I hadn't been, such as Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
So because there's a Global Women Club Dubai, I now have access to go speak there and to meet, network, collaborate with other phenomenal women.
Yeah. Give number 3 and then we'll talk
And
about
number three. Absolutely. And number 3.
She's like this and for real. Like,
Yeah, like in real life.
This is how she is. We room together and she's like, girl.
I was like, I gotta wear t-shirts. What? So, and number 3, one of many takeaways, but I think that third one would be friendship.
Mm-hmm.
Really walking away with genuine friendships. It's not just about business. I think there's something unique about being a woman, and only other women get it. And so it's an opportunity to come together once a month to create more than just collaboration on the business level or career level. It's not just about women with businesses, but who are trailblazers in their career,
Mm-hmm.
but also new friends.
Yeah. So you don't have to own a business to come to it.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean that
Yeah.
it's not just for entrepreneurs. And what I thought was beautiful was when we were there, that lady brought her husband.
Yeah.
And he was such a great support. He wrote all of us this beautiful poem, and it was really, really great. But going back to Women's Global Summit that day, which was really neat, is that Morella was doing Facebook Live.
Yes.
Yeah, all of a sudden, like, all these messages started coming through and wanting, like, different jobs for all of us that were standing up there
Yeah.
talking, you know? Dr.
Just
Clark-
like that.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah, so you have no idea what doors are going to be opening just to show up, you know? And, yeah, it's really some cool stuff.
I love it.
So you had mentioned in the beginning,
Yes.
you're working on your business instead of in it.
Yeah.
So how was that different from you? Like, where were you working in, and how did you find yourself, like, where you're like, okay, I'm too much in, I need to be
Yes.
working on?
Well, let's go back a little bit. I read a book a long time ago called The E-Myth, and I received that book from the founder of Jackson Hewitt and Liberty Tax Service, John Hewitt, and it's just a phenomenal book.
Simple read.
Simple read,
Yeah.
right? But I think the thing is, we have all of this information, and I've shared that before. Knowing isn't enough. I think many of us, we have all this information, but we're not following through with it. So what I found myself doing, Dr. Jim, was just that, not being the CEO of my company, my brand. And I think for many of us, which is by all means okay, that we start off as pretty much self-employed. We create jobs for ourselves, and that's fine. I'm not knocking that because that pays bills. But the one thing that I've learned, that if your business cannot sustain without you, you really don't have a business.
Exactly.
If you can't package it and
Right.
sell it, if it can't
You don't have an
operate,
exit plan?
you don't have an exit plan, you don't have a business. If you can't take a vacation, if you can't be sick, if you can just not go that day, you really may want to think about that. So what I started doing, Dr. Jim, is I created a list, as I would with any of my clients when I'm coaching them, and saying, hey, Chantella, what can you give away?
Right.
It's not that it's not important, but I don't have to be the one doing the laundry. It just needs to get done.
Right.
I don't have to be the one that every time someone posts on my Facebook that I have to be the one necessarily responding to all of the social media. So some things I just simply outsource. Now, I will say, though, when it comes to things, and I learned this the hard way, but I was able to recover quickly, some things still need your personal touch. So one thing for sure that I learned, like with social media, that I still needed to come in and say, okay, guys, this is me, versus a business, another third party answering these questions and things of that nature. Because some things they're not going to do quite the same
Right.
as a Jody or Dr. Jen.
Right.
We
So
were-
like delegating.
Yeah,
is
delegating is
essentially
huge.
what she's talking about, right?
So a lot of times when you start a business, you come in as an amazing technician. Like
Yes.
let's use a hairdresser. A
Yes.
hairdresser who is an amazing technician comes in, and then all of a sudden now she's running a business, and she has no idea, or no idea how to run a business. So they get stuck. They don't
Yes.
know how to be the CEO and how to step back and have a system and a structure. And she's amazing at money, systems, and structure. And like, this is what you do. And like, we each have gifts. You love to push and make people see something different. You know, he does.
It's like, really? No,
Like, make sure you guys start watching his 30-second blast or 1-minute blast. I mean, that's Jim. Like, the whole heart of Jim when you do those. Like, I mean, they're really amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And like when we were talking the other day, she was like, "Oh, I need to get out there and do that a little bit more." You know.
Yeah.
So I know my gift is to be able to get you guys to get yourself out a little bit more, and your gift is like, let's sit down, write it out. This is your structure. This is your system. These are your targets. Let's go.
Yeah.
You know. So
Because I'm very left brain.
Mhm.
Like, don't let the jazzy and the dress fool you. I'm a geek.
she
And
is.
so
More than just a pretty face.
Yeah, she.
I let Dr. Jones say. But I am very structured, and I think modular. And sometimes I need a Jody to come and like, hey, here goes something for you.
Or like this morning, I was like, I will be in ripped up jeans and maybe a t-shirt. So one day we went out and she literally shocked me. She showed up, of course, one pair she owns of Lucky Brand jeans, and she came in this super cute t-shirt, and I was like, who are you? And I was like, it's a new me for today. So we were just stepping
With
out.
my heels, of course.
She did have heels on, yeah. Yeah, and then we went shopping, and this lady kept trying to sell her stuff, and she's like, oh no, one, that's it, just one. But you stepped out.
Yes.
And so that's like having all these different people in your life to surround yourself with really great people that are going to start pushing you beyond your comfort zone, because a lot of times people see something in you that you don't necessarily see in yourself.
That's
And
for
you just
sure.
go a little bit
So
further.
who's done that for you in your life?
Well, first and foremost, Jody over here.
Thank you.
It's really those networks that we build, and I think that's the biggest thing for most of us. We become so comfortable in that little cocoon that we've created, or sometimes that kind of created itself around us. Right?
Environment.
Yeah, it's environment. You didn't create it. You're just
And that's what
kind of
happens
there.
a lot when you're working in your
Yeah.
business.
And
Is
you
then
don't
you
have
get
to-
really just like so confined to your
Yes.
space.
Yeah.
And I think that's like what's great about what you're doing is you open up that community, and there's so much power, right, when you're around other people to uplift you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't have all of the answers, and more importantly, I had to learn to allow people to contribute to me, and instead of me just being the contributor.
Absolutely. So let's give a big shout out, because now we're all on the same page and basically working together is with Lisa Nichols.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
that's how
absolutely.
a big part of all of this happened.
Yes.
Chantella had an event, and that's where we met.
Yes.
And then you came over and filmed, and then we went to Lisa Nichols, which this event, Chantella, as one of them that she presented, that was your second one.
Yeah.
And we went with Jamie and Carrie and all those guys, yeah.
Yeah.
And then now, let's fast forward 1 year.
1 year.
Yeah, 1
Right.
And
year.
here we are.
Right.
So it took me, and before I even sponsored Lisa Nichols coming to Chicago in 2016, I had to be a yes to something else. What a lot of people don't realize, like there's this like ripple effect, there's a flow. And until you become this yes to opportunity, the doors are closed.
They are.
So,
Absolutely.
like Dr. Jim asked me, so Jody, for instance, is one of those people that has poured into me. JT Fox has
Yeah.
poured into me. Lisa Nichols has poured into me. My mom, my dad, my
Right.
family. And I have a great support system. There are people in my life that really, truly care about me.
So if you were to look back, like when did all this start for you?
Oh my, which part?
This.
You know, I think it was always there. I come from an information technology background. So, for the most part, most of my career, I had on khakis, loafers, a tan shirt, and my hair was in a bun. And not that that was bad, I just wanted to blend it in with the guys. I wanted to just be one of the boys. But in here, I knew that there was more. And I was always the dreamer, always the visual one when it came to dreams.
And a reader.
Oh my goodness, I'm an avid reader.
Yeah.
I love to read, always have, and I always love to share like Think and Grow Rich. That's my favorite book. As a matter of fact, one of my nephews, I just sent him the audio of it last night. So shout out to Duran. Make sure you listen to all 10 hours and however many minutes. But I love the fact.
But it's worth it.
But it's so worth it. And his brother Devin, they're twins. But I love the fact that reading gives me access and exposure to ideas I wouldn't have come up with on my own. And it's not that you have to implement them then. Sometimes they're just in this little treasure chest.
Yeah.
And when they're needed, they're there.
Right.
You apply those concepts.
Yeah. So I have a slew of people who just have poured into my community, my friends.
So what was that made you step out into doing this? So from the khakis to the dress, like what was that Because I think there's a lot of people out there that like we go through that, right? And we just kind of sit there and we're going through our day to day.
Yes.
And we know that there's something inside that we want to like express out and get out, and we have a voice to share.
Yes.
But then we're trying to blend in, right?
Yes.
Be one of the boys.
Yes.
So then, what was it that, like, what was that moment that made you step out into where you're at now?
Well,
The day. You caught up in the day to day.
got it.
Caught up in the day to day.
Yes.
So what was that moment like where you were just like, okay, I've had enough of this, and now I'm going to start doing me. Then I'm going to let my voice come out. Like,
Yeah.
what was that? Do you remember that?
Well, it was a chain of things, right? Well, it first started with just having the vision. I created that vision at 13, 14 years old after Think and Grow Rich, and then seeing Les Brown speak on television. And I started watching like Bob Proctor and reading Zig Ziglar's books. So it started there, right? Planting those seeds. But I still didn't have the courage because I was always a hider. It was a comfortable space for me. And so back in a few years ago, I took a course called the Landmark Forum. I took the Landmark Forum. And that course changed my way of seeing myself. And it gave me the permission that I wasn't giving myself to do whatever I wanted to do in this world.
I think that's important. That's a big takeaway. Is allowing yourself and giving yourself permission to let that light shine and let your voice be heard. I think a lot of people do that. They don't. They just keep. They keep themselves back, right?
Yes.
That's what we
Yeah.
always do.
Yeah, it's nobody
So
else.
yeah,
And-
being tolerant of yourself, allowing yourself to be heard.
Yeah, so it was surely the Landmark Forum that by the time I took that course, I was ready. I had already done the legwork. I've done the exercises, and that was one of those steps that I needed to walk into at that time, at least in my life.
So anybody out there now that's in that's just kind of sitting there, they're listening.
Yes.
They've got everything written down in notes. They
Yeah.
know where they want to take it, but it's right. It's in the drawers.
Yeah, you're like.
What would you recommend for them to get started? Like, where do they take that now and move on? How are they going to get that out?
Got it. Well, first and foremost, I would say many times we write things that we never review. So sometimes you have to go back and take a look at those things just to see really how much you've grown. I think a lot of people don't see the progress. And when you don't see the progress, you still feel stuck. Right? And so you need those small wins.
And celebrate the
And
wins.
celebrate those
Not
wins.
just like, oh, okay. I mean,
Yeah.
celebrate them.
And celebrate those
Without
wins.
shame.
Without any shame. Number one. Number two, get a coach. Spend the time investing in yourself. Get a coach.
So important.
Yes.
Get a coach.
Yeah.
And then,
And it's scary.
yeah,
It is.
and it can be. It can be scary. But I tell you, put aside those fears, because the truth of the matter is, you have so much life to live, and you want to live it out loud. You don't want to live it in here. And so, get a coach, and that person will surely catapult you from where you are to where you want to be.
The one thing I love about a coach is that they're not emotionally attached to any of your things.
No.
So they can make you step out of that comfort zone just a little bit more. And depending on who your coach is to how far you want to take that.
Yes.
And and then sometimes you might want to step back a little bit and reassess and then do it again, but it holds you accountable, Like, I mean, I'm accountable to you too, almost every day. Yeah. These two are looking at each other like, oh.
Okay, yes.
Lucky them, huh?
And I appreciate that.
She says yes, and he's over here rolling his eyes. He's crying because he's like, oh gosh. But it's, again, having that accountability. So if you're in a position in your life that you can't afford a coach, get a really great group of people that are smarter than you. Don't always be the smartest person in the room, because you always want people that are going to make you think a little bit more, push yourself a little bit further.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't feel like you have to stay in your circumstances. One of the things I always like to share is my favorite quote, right? I have this favorite quote, and it's George Bernard Shaw, and it's, people are always blaming their circumstances for what they are. I don't believe in circumstances. The people who get on in this world are the people who get up and go find the circumstances that they want. And if they can't find them, they make them. So either go find what it is that you want in this world, or go create it, go make it.
Right, that's awesome.
You just said
So
post
yeah,
it.
that's perfect. Yeah. So here's our challenge, then, or my homework for everybody then, is to whatever you have written down is then to step out of that comfort zone and make it happen.
Yeah.
Like, and just write down your next 3 steps in order to make it happen, to get your voice out, let your voice be heard, and let us know how that shows up for you.
Yeah, I agree. Get out of your circumstances. Get out of your head. Get out in the world where you belong.
That's your
Perfect.
homework for them?
That's your homework for them.
I say that's more than homework. That's your life.
There we go.
Oh, and that's why she's so good at what she does. My homework is to sit down and go back and look at where you were a year ago, and give yourself that permission to celebrate how far you've come. And if you haven't gotten everything that you wanted to, because sometimes we get really attached to what we think things are supposed to look like, but if you really pay attention, they really do show up. If you would just look at it differently, just because it doesn't look way and sound a certain way, that feeling shows up for you. It really does,
I agree.
And like, I had a year ago, this was not even on my radar at all. God had a whole nother plan, I think, for all of us, honestly, and then we just kept getting dropped into all these circumstances to be together. Her and I, we showed up at an event. That's my homework, is to go back and review and see how far. But her and I were at the same events for years, and we never met, ever. You showed up at my book signing, and then we just started talking, and all this stuff is going on, and now look, we're all sitting here going, hey, how are you? Let's change the world together.
We're together.
Love you, John.
All right, you guys have a great day.
All right,
Thank
bye.
you.
Love you.